Just ask Karina, she can fix it.
No.
You're the
I can
getting
sell it, but the fixing it, I don't know.
Apparently you get people hooked up too.
Don't tell people that.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Just,
Oh, you're going to plug in?
Waiting on some,
the October,
stuff.
it should read October 26th, council meeting instead of October 20th.
We haven't got the
It sure
PO
should
yet.
be.
Be it resolved, the agenda for regular council
Still
meeting
on
of
Scott's
October
desk.
20th be adopted. Should be 26th.
Dolly Parton stuff.
I'll read it as the
That's Scott's
26th.
October
Yours,
October
PO.
12.
October 12th, yeah.
No, but the agenda.
Or the
Oh,
agenda,
agenda.
yes. The minutes,
Got it.
That might be it.
yeah, everything's good.
Big number.
Okay, good
I know.
evening again, everyone. Welcome to our council meeting of tonight. And our first item on the agenda is be it resolved that the agenda of the regular council meeting of October 26th be adopted. Mover,
Henry Siemens,
seconder,
Marvin Platt?
any additions to the agenda?
Yeah, I have a resolution regarding going away from our drought plan, statement of plan that we implemented earlier on in June, I believe. So, a resolution to cancel that.
Okay. All right, thank you for that addition. Any other additions? Hearing none. All in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular council meeting of October 12th, 2021 be adopted. Mover?
Don?
Seconder?
Karina?
Any errors or omissions on those minutes? Hearing none. All in favor? And that is carried. Correspondence. We have correspondence here from the Winkler District Healthcare Board with the funding request and financial statements. And I guess there's no surprises. We knew that was going to be in place, right, Marvin?
Yeah, it's no change this year from the past.
Okay. Any other comments regarding that report?
The other one is coming later sometime.
Okay.
You don't have a
The
date
other
when
two
that's
were wrong.
happening?
Okay.
Huh?
You don't know when that's gonna happen?
We will hopefully be able to report
Okay.
shortly on that.
Okay.
All right. All in favor? That's carried. Going on to finance, be it resolved that the accounts payable amount of $2,020,375.48 as approved by the Finance Committee be approved for payment. Mover?
Henry Siemens,
Seconder?
Andrew?
And you see the check registry. Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor? And that is carried. Mobile device policy, update on that. Be it resolved that the mobile device policy be adopted. Mover?
Henry Siemens,
Seconder?
Andrew?
Any questions regarding a policy?
We had a policy before, did we not?
We did. We now have an IT person who is more up to speed on some of the security concerns. And so in large part, we're updating it to address some of those concerns.
Perfect.
Anything significant that you want to point out, that changes that were made?
Aside from the security aspect, no, I
Okay.
don't think there's anything
okay.
to note.
Okay. And all in favor? And that is carried.
So question, so this one automatically overrides the previous policy then?
Yes.
It does now, yeah.
Yeah.
Be it resolved that council authorizes Manitoba Hydro to install 60-watt LED lights on Pearl Street, McKenna Place, McKenna Way, North Point Trail, and 90-watt LED lights on Northlands Parkway for the annual amount of $3,715.92, plus applicable taxes. Mover?
Greeno.
Seconder?
Marvin?
Any questions regarding those additions? I'm assuming there's houses on them? All right, all in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that the Finance Committee meeting minutes for October the 18th, 2021 be adopted. Mover?
Henry Siemens.
Seconder?
Andrew?
Any questions regarding the Finance meeting minutes? Hearing none. All in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2269-21, amending borrowing bylaw to be read a second time. Mover?
Henry Siemens.
Seconder?
Andrew?
Any questions regarding that second reading? Hearing none. All in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that the bylaw number 2269-21 to amending borrowing bylaw be read a third and final time. Mover?
Don.
Seconder?
Michael.
And just for clarification, Jody, this also sets the interest rates that are secured by the loan that was secured.
Correct. So
And-
we did get a second approval letter with some small amendments that we've made here. And that was based on term and interest rate.
Okay. All right. And I'm assuming both were for the better.
Correct.
Good.
Lower interest and pay off more quickly.
Perfect. All right. Any further questions? All in favor? That is carried. Whereas the City of Winkler Police Service has presented a staffing plan in order to effectively manage retirements and/or other leaves of absence. Whereas this plan calls for additional constable to be hired early in 2022. Therefore, be it resolved that Council of the City of Winkler approve the creation and funding for one additional constable to begin work in early 2022. Mover?
Andrew?
Seconder?
Don.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that Pembina Valley Water Cooperative water rate increase of 2% to 9.53 per 1,000 gallons be received for information. Mover?
Andrew?
Seconder?
Marvin?
All in favor? That is carried.
Am I on every committee, or what's going on
Yeah.
here?
Just
You're a
about.
big deal. You're a big deal.
Okay, Marvin, maybe you could introduce your resolution that you have from Pembina Valley Water Co-op here, seeing we're on that topic.
Okay. In spring, due to the drought, I guess it was more in June, July, Pembina Valley Water Co-op implemented a drought plan with its 14-member municipalities. And it happened to become more, probably more severe as time went on until the recent rains. And so at our meeting today with the Pembina Valley Water Co-op and our 14 members, we have decided to remove the drought state of emergency due to the amount of precipitation and elevated river flows. In fact, the Red River level is up 14 inches from that in June, so that's very uncharacteristic of the Red. Pembina Valley Water Co-op continues to monitor the situation throughout the winter and into the next spring to ensure adequate water supply is maintained in case drought develops again in spring, or in case we have low snowfall. And Pembina Valley Water Co-op and members municipalities want to thank all of our citizens for the conservation effort and encourage everyone to continue to use water wisely. So, with that, I'd like to. Did you read a motion?
Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah,
Sure.
please do.
Sure. Whereas the PVWC Drought Committee has met and recommends ending the drought state of emergency, therefore be it resolved that the City of Winkler declares the drought state of emergency to be ended effective immediately.
Okay, mover?
And I'd so move.
Okay, thanks, Marvin. Seconder?
Henry Siemens.
Thanks, Henry. And any questions?
Does this come up at the call today?
Yep.
Mhm.
You said the Red River is, wait, what percent level is that at then?
14 inches up.
14 inches higher than it was in June when we got very concerned.
Is that updated in these maps online?
Should be. On the drought conditions, those get updated monthly, I believe is what they
Yeah,
said.
Manitoba.
October 17th for the Red River near Saint Agathe still shows in the 10th percentile. Maybe the maps aren't updated then.
That one's at Roseau or Emerson?
That's at Saint Agathe.
Saint Agathe.
Yeah, that'd be different than Emerson.
Emerson is, oh yeah, that did go up. Holy cow.
Yeah. It's,
Okay,
They're
that's in 50th percentile now. Well, okay.
over 2,000 cubic foot per second now, flow.
Yeah.
Down from 267 and change to over 2,000 now, so it was,
Too bad our groundwater isn't the same then.
although
Yeah.
these rains have helped
Yeah.
somewhat, but it'll be a long way to go before we're
Yeah.
where we'd like to be.
Yeah.
Those rains don't do as much for Morton because
Right.
they have such a small catchment area for the lake.
And they were saying after the first set of rains, the river rose quickly and then quickly subsided again. But this time, they're not expecting that because they feel there's a little bit more saturation, so there's a little bit more runoff, so that there's more water in the river.
So are they removing all those intakes that were dropped or what?
No, they're going to keep them there.
Okay.
They have a contingency plan because I asked what happens in spring because those
Yep.
pumps are set fairly low to the water level. And they have, most of it is easy as switching the intake valve
Yep.
and then hauling the equipment out.
Oh, nice.
So, hopefully.
Okay, thanks for the update and thanks for serving on that group.
Did we
All
have
in
the-
favor?
Yep, there we go.
And that is carried. Be it resolved that Community Services Committee meeting minutes for the October 12th, 2021 meeting be adopted. Mover?
Andrew?
Seconder?
Karina.
Any comments regarding the minutes or questions? Hearing none, all in favor? And that is carried.
Could I just make a comment on the water rate increase?
Mhm.
I forgot to do that at the time. The water rate increase that we're talking about here is a flow-through rate.
That's
Only
right.
the percentage of water that we get from the Pembina Valley Water Co-op will increase. That doesn't mean our whole city's water rate will increase by 2%. And I don't know, it's only about 30% of our water.
30
that
to
we-
35%.
Of our water, yeah, so it's going to be only about 35% of 2%
That's correct.
increase of water.
Mhm.
That's right.
Okay. Just so that everybody knows.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Be it resolved that the Winkler Resource Committee meeting minutes for September 28th, 2021 meeting be received for information. Mover
Karina.
and seconder?
Michael?
Thank you. I guess if we have any questions, we can ask later, right? All in favor? That is carried. Be it resolved that PV Lip meeting minutes for July 20th, 2021 and September 23rd, 2021 be received for information. Mover?
Karina.
Seconder?
Michael?
Any questions regarding PV Lip?
I'm very excited about our multi-municipal board or committee that's meeting here, and so we have some great stuff that we're working on together as a region, and I'm excited about that.
Okay,
Yep.
appreciate it. Thank you. All in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that Central Management of Tourism meeting minutes for October 4th meeting be received for information. Mover?
Karina.
Seconder?
Henry Siemens.
Thank you.
Any questions regarding that? All in favor? That's carried. Be it resolved that Morton Vet Clinic meeting minutes for September the 13th, 2021 meeting be received for information. Mover?
Michael?
And
Thanks, Michael.
I'll second it. Thank you
Seconder?
for filling in for me on that
It
one.
was good to be back in that chair for a morning.
Okay.
All right. You haven't gone to the dogs or anything? Awesome. Okay, all in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved, the Winkler Arts and Culture meeting minutes for September 13th, 2021 meeting be received for information. Mover?
Michael,
Seconder?
Karina.
Any questions? All in favor? Carried.
You guys are hanging in there?
Be it resolved, this meeting of council recess for the purpose of holding public hearings. Mover?
Dawn.
Karina.
Karina and Dawn, thank you. All in favor? And that is carried. Jody, first one.
Okay, first public hearing is for variation application number 1710-21. Applicant Mitch Rempel on behalf of owners Mitch and Kristen Rempel at 8 Pine Ridge Place. The reason for the variation is to construct an accessory building in the backyard to use for the pool. And the zoning bylaw requirements are for a 5-foot rear yard setback. The variation requested is for a 2-foot rear yard setback. And so there's some notes to council there, and no concerns or objections have been brought to our office.
Any questions of council? Mitch, good to see you.
Yeah, you do.
All right, if there's no questions and no objections, then be it resolved, this public hearing for variation 1710-21 be closed. Mover?
Marvin.
Seconder?
Andrew?
All in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that council approve variation application number 1710-21. Mover?
Henry Siemens?
Seconder?
Dawn.
All in favor? And that is carried.
Okay, I will ask to be removed
See ya.
based
Okay,
on a
we'll
perceived
ex-
conflict of interest.
We'll excuse you.
He was talking too much anyway.
He was.
All right, Jody?
Okay, this is a public hearing in respect of bylaw 2270-21, and that is for rezoning. The described lands are there on a map that was posted with the public notice, and they are north of Highway 14 along Park Street. So rezoning is from CR, Community Reserve, to institutional and to OR, which is open space recreation. This public notice was also distributed as per the Planning Act, and we have not received any objections at our office. And there's no new information from the August report to council, which is included in this package, aside from the notes from MI, which we just received. And my understanding is that they have been passed on to the phrases. And they have some notes just about the traffic projections that they're going to request from the developer, as well as providing confirmation that the drainage is not an issue and has adequately been addressed.
And that'll be included in the development agreement.
Correct.
Okay. All right, any questions of council? All good? All right, we heard no objections, therefore be it resolved that the public hearing for the rezoning bylaw 2270-21 be closed. Mover?
Karina.
Michael,
Oh,
Okay, Michael and Karina, thank you. All in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that council approve bylaw 2270-21, subject to the development agreement. Terms and conditions of the development agreement will be in accordance with the recommendations made in the city's report to council and include mandatory infrastructure's 2 conditions of approval. Mover?
Henry Siemens?
Seconder?
Dawn.
And you've been made aware of what those are, so,
Yes, I did get a copy of that.
okay.
And is those recommendations, is that something that council has to condition approval, or is that just a by choice?
My understanding it's because of the request from MI.
Yeah, MI would say that these should be, that they wouldn't object if these things are included. So if they weren't, my understanding is that they would object, which doesn't, I don't know if it binds you, but there would be that objection.
Oh, And it does state here that should we not address them here, that they will be added as conditions to the subdivision,
Yeah,
so.
okay, yeah, I just wanted to see what the protocol was.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we'll be chatting with them to see exactly what their requests are. I mean, the drainage part is,
Yeah.
normally we always look at the drainage when we do that.
Exactly.
Probably
Yeah.
look at closer once development occurs. This is just subdividing a big piece, so.
Great.
And the city doesn't have any concerns with the drainage part. We feel like that will be adequately addressed.
Okay, we've had a mover and a seconder. All in favor? And that is carried.
And reading the notes, I was reminded how long you have been developers in our city. Thank you. It's been a long ride already.
Yeah, didn't I see a stamp of 2005 on there?
Yeah.
On
Something
here,
like
yeah,
that.
so it was
1999.
previous to that.
Oh, even further.
Yeah.
All right, be it resolved, public hearings be adjourned and regular council reconvene. Mover?
Karina?
Karina, and seconder?
Marvin.
Thank you. All in favor? And that's carried. We are ready for Winkler Family Resource Center Community Spotlight. You're in the spotlight. Thanks, guys.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it was hard.
I kept my report short and sweet because I know you're all busy.
Well, we've had a relatively quick evening. It's barely 7 o'clock, so it's
Oh,
we're all
I can
good.
go on and on and on.
No.
We'll save that for the meeting.
Save it for the meeting, yeah. Just thank you for your contribution to Winkler Family Resource Center over, I guess, I've been here now for 6 years. It's a bit crazy, but I'm still here. And your $5,000 a year is earmarked for our rent at Emmanuel Mennonite Church. We moved in there September 2019, and our numbers were phenomenal up until March 2020. So, yeah, we were having in our play area, we were having up to 50 to 70 people there a day, Monday to Friday. Parents were ecstatic, so incredibly happy. We had so many new families, unbelievable. Our programs were jam-packed, and then we got shut down in March. And with COVID and everything, we just completely stopped. I think everybody got the rug pulled out from under them. It seems so long ago. But yeah, so we shut down and we just connected with parents over the phone, Facebook. We were posting stuff for activities for families to do. And then we took that time and wrapped our heads around programming. We opened up September 2020. We ran our programs in person for 2 months, and then we switched to online, which, believe it or not, was hugely successful.
Excellent.
We weren't sure how it was going to go with preschoolers. We cut our programs back to half an hour. We supplied parents with this massive craft bag. Everything was labeled, instructions. Our facilitators basically spent 20 to 25 hours putting these bags together. We all pitched in and helped out. And parents would come to the center and pick them up. And then at the end of each session, the children would come with the parents and pick up a book. And so not a lot's changed. Our programs are shorter. They're a lot more work. Like I find with COVID, everything's a lot more work. What one person used to do takes the whole team. So yeah, and over the course of, we'll call it the COVID years, we were very fortunate to get a few of the government grants that were out. The community services grant through the United Way, we got that one, which helped us start a new program. The Manitoba Stay-at-Home Grant, we were able to introduce a lending library for parents. We made these amazing, I should have brought one with me actually, these busy binders, so they're all laminated, and it's just activities for the parents and children to do. So that's been really successful, and we're kind of adding board games and stuff for families to do. So if nothing to do, you can check out a game at the weekend, enjoy that. We did start a lot of new programs last year. Online, we did a children's mental health program, which was perfect timing for COVID. called Mindful Munchkins. It was written by a kindergarten teacher who specializes in children's mental health and child development, and that one went over really, really well. It actually gives parents the tools to help their children deal with emotions, which if you go to a psychologist, they hand you your papers and you say, yes, your child has ADHD. See you later. And that's all that comes with it, right? You don't get a toolkit. You don't get strategies. You don't get a lot of that 9 times out of 10. So this program has been fantastic and it's really helping parents. And like I said, it couldn't have come at a better time because kids have big emotions, right? And now I find, being a mom myself, my emotions got really big over COVID too. Frustration, right? So that was a really great program and we had lots of positive feedback on that. We started a bunch of food and snack programs just to try and get parents, rather than grabbing those granola bars and those gummies and those sweet snacks and here you go, just to show them how easy it is to make granola bars, how easy it is to make little quiches, just healthy different things. And we have a new music program too, which has been a really big success, Music with Rebecca. She is a trained, she goes into seniors' homes and she's music therapy for seniors and people who are recovering from accidents and stuff. So she does a whole preschool program with our center, which is fantastic. Once again, with COVID, we've had to wrap our head around not having in-person events and stuff. So we did a prize draw calendar last February, and it was really successful. And we teamed up with Coffee Culture and did muffins for Munchkins. And we teamed up with Iceberg to do cones for kids, and the Falk Fair Foundation actually matched what we made on that event. So that was really good. Like I said, we're super busy. What else? Our community partners, I find now we're working with a lot more people in the community, a lot more businesses. We're just trying to connect and help each other out. And yeah, just really busy. Our programs are all full. Like I said, we're doing them online. We have 10 families per program because if you have any more than 10 on Zoom, it just gets chaotic. The kids lose interest and you're not that interactive with them. And like I said, our programs are half an hour and then you have your craft bag. So then you're engaging the parents, you're giving them something to do with their children, and it's really positive. They do their craft afterwards. They send us pictures. We post it on our Facebook page, and the children are all really proud of their crafts that they make. I don't know, some of them don't look like they're supposed to, but they're happy with it, so we just go with it. And other than that, yeah, we continue our partnership with Imagination Library, Emmanuel Mennonite Church, Garden Valley School Division, Gateway Resources, and yeah, just COVID's really kind of cramping our style, as I'm sure it is with lots of places, but we're human and we're adapting and we're keeping up faith and we're still serving the families in Winkler who really need it, because it's really hard on the stay-at-home parent, whether you're a man or a woman. Lots of parents are losing their minds. Lots of parents are very frustrated. Lots of kids are very frustrated. Lots of parents are worried about their children falling behind. They've had babies without COVID. Now they have a 2-year-old who's scared of everything, doesn't want to see people. So it's, you know, we're trying to reach those and help those parents. And that's what we do as a center. We are very closely aligned with Morton Parent Resource Center. I run both centers. We're really connected on the ground, but financially, we're completely separate. I do all the finances for Winkler Family Resource Center and Imagination Library, and for the Morton Center, everything's done out of Western School Division. So your money is staying here in Winkler, and you are really, really helping the families of Winkler by supporting our center. So, any questions?
With Imagination Library, how is that, how have the numbers changed at all through COVID?
Yeah, their numbers are down. They have 50 spots available right now.
Wow,
But I think in the last 2 weeks it's filled up.
yeah, but that's,
So-
wow, okay.
I find there's been a lot of people moving.
Mhm.
Like, I'm getting a lot of moved, not at this address anymore, a lot of return books. Nothing crazy,
Yeah.
but, yeah, a lot of movement.
Hmm.
And lots of change of addresses have been coming in.
Interesting.
So, but they're still busy. Imagination Library still has, I think they can have up to 800 kids, so they're at 750.
Mhm.
But once they get this round of registrations, I think they'll only have 10 or 15 spots left.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a fantastic program.
Yeah.
Well, every little piece of a contribution to our community is helpful, doesn't matter which age group. And
Mhm.
certainly interacting with the parents and the kids is vital, as you said, for mental health. And parents who are at home, I can just imagine being in an RV in our trailer park here for 2 weeks was enough. It was time to get out.
Imagine 3
So I can
children
imagine
in there with
having-
you.
Exactly.
And your wife gone all day and you have to cook and clean
Exactly.
and make all the meals and bath
Yeah,
time.
no, it's a scary thought.
Actually, it is. Like, I've had just a lot of moms phone, just at their wits' end, crying, and even Emmanuel in counseling. Like, I've directed some of them there, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness, it's like a 6-month wait. It's an 8-month wait, right? So there's a lot of people really struggling, really having a hard time out there, and you know, if you can talk to them for half an hour and kind of help them see the light at the end of the tunnel, or just the mums, I'll say mums, because that's who we mostly work with, because they're the ones at home. They're just burnt out.
Yep.
They're done. They're exhausted. They don't want to go looking for coloring sheets on the internet. That's why we created the busy binders, and they fly out of the shelf. Like, they fly out of there. And it's like, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
So, yeah, anything we can do to help.
Well, appreciate it. And for our community as a whole, I just want to say thank you. On behalf of the council, I want to say thank you for everything that you do. It's been a long time since I remember the beginning when you came in looking for places and looking for funding and whatever.
Yeah, and you know,
It's grown a lot.
we can't keep up, to be honest. Like, probably not gonna like this, but I kind of really welcomed COVID because we were just growing way too fast. Like,
Yeah.
we could not keep up. There was just so many demands and needs, and like, Colleen from Tempo called us the other day, asking us if we know if they've got a whole bunch of extra food, right? Asking if we had any families. So we passed it off to Lisa Wolf, one of the school liaisons who we work with. And I just said, you know what, sort out a few families, right? So that's kind of, you know, passing that information on to people, super
Yeah.
helpful. So
Awesome.
she's divvying that up between 4 or 5 families who really need it.
Nice.
So, and I don't know if you guys go grocery shopping, but groceries are super expensive.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Gone way up.
Yeah.
So there's that too, right? So yeah, that,
That's great.
we try our
Okay,
best.
great.
So, but once again,
Thanks.
thank you. Once again, I hope we don't go into full-on shutdown, but without the full-on shutdown, there's not those extra grants coming in. So that money you give to our center is extremely useful. And Healthy Child Manitoba, who's one of our biggest funders, I don't know if you know about them, but they were supposed to be disbanded last year, and then in March, and then we were gonna fall under the Department of Families, then we were going under Youth and Justice. So I'm kind of hoping the government can't get their act together and they say, we'll keep it status quo for another year, because it's really scary with us not having that money earmarked for family resource centers.
So is there anything that we can do on behalf of council to send you a letter of support, particularly with this program, to encourage both Cameron Friesen as well as the minister?
I don't think so. Like,
Okay.
I think the government is, I don't know, my personal opinion, in a disarray. Like the one lady who was left from Healthy Child Manitoba, she was supposed to see it through until March, but she is retiring in December now. And Heather Stephenson was the head of Department of Families, and now she's the deputy premier. So I just think it's in a bit of disarray, and I call them all the time, I email them all the time, they probably hate me, but I just don't want to lose out on our funding for the center, because the amount of families we were seeing before COVID shut down was amazing, like unbelievable, and there was people coming every day. So,
I was thinking more just for yourself, so that they recognize that we understand the service you bring to the community.
yeah, I'll let you know, like,
Okay.
once I find out who's going to be,
Okay.
what minister is going to be. We've had like 7 or 8 different ministers' names, so I kind of don't want to get a letter and just
Yeah.
in
Okay.
the bin somewhere, right? I'd rather know exactly who's going to be able to receive it and get it.
Yep.
And
Perfect. Appreciate
I'll
it.
get back to you on that. No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for bringing the report.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good
Kathy.
job.
Yep.
thank you.
See you later.
See you later.
Yeah.
The other items on here, just wanted to maybe make a note in regards to the media. Pam FedEx, Jonathan's father passed away today, so Chris told me before when he was in,
Oh.
that she wouldn't.
Bye.
Hey, Kathy, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
See you, Kathy. So there's no media here, so therefore be it resolved that this regular meeting of council be adjourned. Mover,
Karina?
second.
Dawn.
All in favor? Carried. Meeting's adjourned.